right, welcome. Today we're kicking off a brand new series on advanced grammar. And we're going to start at the very beginning by diving super deep into the most fundamental unit of all, the sentence.
You can think of it like this. Everything in language, every huge idea, every epic story, it all grows from this one single concept. But what's actually inside it? What are those core components? What's the DNA that brings it to life? Well, let's dig in and find out. Okay, so let's start with section 1, the grammatical seed. We're talking about understanding the core components of a sentence here. A sentence, at its heart, is basically a complete idea. It's like the entire genetic code packed right inside a tiny seed. It's a group of words that expresses a complete thought. But there's a catch, a crucial structural requirement. So for that seed to actually be viable, for it to grow, for that thought to be truly complete, it needs two absolutely essential parts. This is its DNA, plain and simple. It has to have a subject, and it has to have a predicate. So what are they? Well, the subject, that's the who or what the sentence is all about. And the predicate, that's the other half. It's the part with the verb, and it tells us what the subject is actually doing or being. Super simple, right? And here's the thing. Every single complete sentence you've ever said or read has both of these. Seriously, no exceptions. All right, section 2, the building blocks. We're moving from seeds sprouting into saplings and vines. So as our little grammatical seed starts to sprout, we get something a bit more complex. It's called a clause. Now, a clause is also a group of words with a subject and a verb, but, and this is the important part, there's a twist. Not all of them can actually stand on their own. And this right here is probably the most crucial distinction you need to get. An independent clause. Think of it like a sturdy little sapling. It's a complete thought. It can stand all by itself, no problem. The storm intensified. Boom, complete. But a dependent clause, that's more like a vine. It has a subject and a verb, sure, but it just feels incomplete, doesn't it? Although he was wealthy. See? It leaves you hanging. It needs that sapling to wrap itself around to make any sense. So, now we get to the really fun part. Section 3, the 4 structural trees. How do we take these saplings and vines and start combining them to build a whole forest of ideas? Well, they come together to form 4 different types of sentences, 4 distinct structures. Let's break down how they're built. First up, we have the simple sentence, and it's exactly what it sounds like, one strong sapling. That means it has just one independent clause. Now, don't let the name fool you. Simple doesn't always mean short. You could say, my friends and I enjoy playing tennis and going bowling every weekend. That's pretty long, but it's still a simple sentence because it's just one single complete thought. Okay, next we have the compound sentence. This is where we start connecting those saplings. We take 2 or even more complete ideas, 2 independent clauses, and we link them together. The key here is that they're both of equal importance. Think of it like this. The storm intensified. That's a complete thought. The pilots remain composed. That's another complete thought. We join them with a but, and suddenly they're partners in one bigger sentence. So what's the glue that holds them together? Well, most of the time, it's these little words called coordinating conjunctions. You've probably heard of the acronym to remember them. Fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These guys are perfect for linking 2 equally important ideas. Or sometimes you'll see a semicolon step in to do the job. Number 3 is the complex sentence, and this is where our sapling and our vine finally come together. Here you've got one main independent idea and at least one subordinate dependent idea that adds more information. Take this example. Because jet lag is caused by loss of sleep, it is not easy to get over it. The main idea, the sapling, is it is not easy to get over it. That can stand all on its own. The first part, that's the vine. It just tells us why. It can't stand alone. And finally, we get to the most advanced structure of all, the compound complex sentence. This is our small grove. It literally combines everything we've just talked about. You need at least 2 independent clauses, 2 saplings, and at least 1 dependent clause, a vine. This is how you express multiple main ideas with extra details layered on. Like, after I graduated from high school, I wanted to travel, but I had to work in my family's business. See? 2 main ideas plus 1 dependent detail. Okay, so this table here is great because it basically lays out the entire ecosystem at a glance. It really simplifies things. Simple sentence, 1 independent clause. Compound,
two or more independent clauses. Complex, one independent, one or more dependent. And compound complex, two or more independent plus at least one dependent. It's like the perfect blueprint for building any kind of sentence you want.
All right, section 4, the mood of the forest. So we've built our trees, we have our structures, but what do they actually do? I mean, how do they communicate? This is where we get into what's called the sentence mood, which is really just a fancy way of saying its function or its purpose. So, yeah, the mood is all about what the sentence is trying to accomplish. Is it stating a fact, asking a question? And there are 4 main moods. The best way to see how they work is to just take one simple idea and see how we can transform it. Let's use the idea, the seed grows. First up, you've got the declarative mood. This one is simple. It declares something. It makes a statement. This seed grows. That's it. This is the absolute workhorse of the English language. It's probably what you use 90% of the time.
Next is the interrogative mood. Think interrogate. It asks a question. Does the seed grow? It always ends with a question mark, and its whole job is to ask for information.
Then you have the imperative mood. This one gives a command or makes a request. Grow seed. Now here's a cool little trick with this one. Where's the subject? It's actually hidden. The subject is an implied you. The sentence is really saying, you grow seed. Pretty neat, right? And last but not least, the exclamatory mood. This one, you guessed it, exclaims. It's for showing strong emotion, surprise, excitement, how the seed grows. And what's so cool about this is you can see how the exact same core idea, a seed growing, can be twisted into 4 totally different things just by changing its purpose, its mood. Okay, section 5, cultivating your language. So think about it. We've gone from a tiny little grammatical seed all the way to a whole forest of communicating trees. We've talked clauses, structures, moods, the whole shebang. But why? Why does any of this actually matter? Why should you care?
Well, here's why. Because understanding and using these different structures is what takes your communication from good to great. When you can mix up simple, compound, and complex sentences, you create rhythm, you create clarity. You can express really sophisticated ideas without confusing people. It's the difference between planting one single lonely tree and cultivating a rich, diverse forest of thought.
I mean, think about it. Every single complex argument you've ever read, every story that made you feel something, every set of instructions that you could actually follow, all of them, at their core, are built from these exact same blocks. Subjects, predicates, clauses, and moods. That's it. So, there you have it. You have the blueprint for the forest. The real question now is, what are you going to grow with it? We really hope this deep dive gives you a solid foundation for building clearer, more powerful sentences. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time as we continue our journey into advanced grammar.